Okay, now we're going to graph a polynomial, and we talked about polynomials yesterday. It's like a cubic or a square or whatever, and someone was concerned that you'd have to be able to identify the entire thing. You just need to know what a cubic looks like, what a square looks like, and so on. But you do need to know how to draw one, and this is actually quite a handy skill. Later on, especially if you go on a management science, you may need to draw a graph and an equation. You'll learn how to use MATLAB, which is much better than Excel for this sort of thing. But unfortunately, you won't always have MATLAB around, so you might have to just learn how to do it in Excel. So again, I'm going for my x values. I start at the start, and then I'm going to go equals the start value plus, this will become more obvious why this is useful in this particular instance, plus the increment, and then I drag that particular one down to what do I want to take it to? 18, same as last time, look at that. And I'll make it all pink. Actually, I'll go for a different colour this time. Make it yellow. Okay. Then we go to y. And our formula that we want, we're going to draw y equals 3 minus 0.5x squared. This is the graph we're going to do. And y equals 3 minus this value here times, lost my times button, this value here to the power of 2. And press enter. Okay, so is that right? So 3 minus 0 squared times 0.5, yeah, that's right. But I forgot to put in my absolute references, so I need them for B3 and B4. So I can actually highlight both B3 and B4 and press the F4 button, and both of them go into absolute references. Then I just double click here, and I've got my function ready to go. Now just turn it yellow. And I hope, like here, it's got the same numbers as last time, 159. It's not, okay? So what have I done wrong? I've got a minus instead of a plus? Oh, okay. Yeah, oh, okay, yeah, I've got the minus twice. Thank you. So I need to get rid of that and put a plus in there, and I should go both directions. Notice this little green thing's popped up here. This is a handy thing that Excel does to tell you, it says that this function is different from the ones around it, because it realises that in something like this you probably want them always to be the same. So that's a nice sort of warning to me that I'd made a mistake. That doesn't look better. Oh, it's everybody's nightmare in a lecture. Okay. I've got 3 minus 0.5, 1 and 2. And what have I got here? B3. They are the same? Okay, good, thank you. Just panicking. You try lecturing in front of a whole lot of people. It's scary. Right, so now we want to make our graph. So we highlight both parts of the table and we make our chart wizard. Which one do I want? XY scatter, great. And let's have a look, and you can see if it's going to be the right one by looking at that, and you go, yep, that looks moderately okay. And so we're just carrying on as before, then we go next, and we go next, and we're just going to call it, you can't actually put a squared in this, so it's we'll just put it a square graph, because I cheated in the notes. I've got a little thing overriding it. And on the x-axis I want it to say x, and on the y-axis I want it to say y, and then we go finish. Okay, so there it is, and it looks like the one I've got here, which is, oh, by the way, that should have a little squared up there, but you can't actually do that in there, so, well, you can't easily, and it got left out. Okay, so you see it looks like that, which isn't really what we want it to look like. What we want it to look like is that. Okay, now some people panic because that shape there doesn't look anything like that shape there. And the problem is not that our graph is wrong, but that we haven't got the right domain. We haven't got the right x values. Hey, if you're going to leave, can you just wait till the break and then go? So So what we're going to do is we actually want this to go from negative values up to positive values. So what we want to do is change the start of the table from 0 and we'll make it into -5. And what happens then is that, see, the table now starts at -5 and goes up. But actually we want it to go up, we want it a bit finer this, we'll make it go up in 0.5 increments. So that's getting it a little bit roundier, which is rather nice. Okay, so what have we got? We want to turn this Y around because we don't want the Y sitting sideways. So we right click on the Y label and we make it go around the right way like that. Okay. You see it's all in the graphs, in the pictures there. We want to get a better range of the X values, so we change the values in start. Oops, not axis, yeah. No. Oh, that's it, I got it. Okay, to change it to the scale, so we want it going from -9 to 9. 9. And we want it to go up in ones. Let's see what happens. So it's getting there now. We want to stretch it vertically, so to do that we just pull the graph down at the bottom, up at the top. So you see it's starting to look more and more like the one that we want. We want to change it so that the line doesn't stop at the graph, so we just change this axis here and we'll make our y-axis stop at -5. So that's looking better again. Oh, -10 I had. That's not right. Oh. I'll make that go back to 1. That's better. Okay. And what else do we want to do? You can add grid lines if you like. I'm taking away my shading, so format the plot area, no shading. And I think I'll get rid of my dots, format my data series, and get rid of my dots. Get rid of my legend. And if you want to, you can put grid lines on. You do that by ticking in here. It says format grid lines, and so here I've got grid lines and I can say where I want them. This is where it comes in. We could get them at the minor unit if we wanted to, but I don't. And then you get the vertical ones, but at the moment they don't seem to be wanting to give them to me. Oh, I'll come back after the break. Okay, so in the end, oh, here we are. Right-click and space around the graph. There we are. Right-click and space around the graph. Go to Chart Options. Go to Grid Lines. Look at that. You have major and minor grid lines. Don't want minor ones. And major and minor. Don't want minor. So there you are. That's what the minors are about, whether you get minor grid lines. So you can make it hideous like that. And what you notice from that is it's not really square either, so you might want to try and make... Oh. And then you could go back to Chart Options, go back to Grid Lines, get rid of our minor ones. And what's nice is it gives you a sneak preview here of what's going on. Now what is a bit sad is that those of you who have Excel 2007, what I've just told you is probably not a great deal of use, unless you work on the computers at university. So you've got two choices. You can either learn how to do graphs on Excel 2007, I haven't even learned that yet, I had to do one at home, or you can just come to university and do it here. So I'll take that small one. So, okay, I'll give you a break for a minute or two. Oh, just one more thing. Is it in the test? Yes, you'll be expected to make one. I'll come back in about 3 minutes.